Ni ka mauna I ka lai e o ai ale ale lai wai lua hu ki ai lai ka lani ka papa wai o ka wai kini. I'm Kahealani Ohumukini Blackmon. This is my father Keola.
No hoana kia koi kana hele hele ia la I eke ki ohu oko.
And I was one of the first dancers at Living Traditions at the beginning, the inception at the This is the Place Heritage Park 34 years ago.
My family actually came here in the 1800s. They lived out in an area called Skull Valley. Hawaiian people were not sure why they were sending us out to a desolate area with nothing. However, because of our people's ingenuity, they found out that there was a stream on the other side of the mountain. They built, in Hawaii, we built aqueducts, and they built stair-stepping the aqueducts and somehow was able to get the water to move up so that when they put a pipeline from the last aqueduct and took it over the mountain, it flowed into the community. And when that was all done, that community blossomed. The flowers that were there 100 years ago are still blooming. Mai pai ka leo, I uli ka hea mai
The palawa represents the tongue, and it helps remind us that we shouldn't speak anything evil, that it should stay positive and uplifting.
And crudely, if you speak ill and you're wearing this, our culture will say, you better watch out, it's going to come behind and bite you in the ass. And they don't mean maybe. And this palawa represents our station in the community. When I walk into my community with this on, more often than not, the seniors would bow their head and step back. That is protocol because they are aware that I am of royal descent. And to show their respect, this is how we respond. It goes from father to son. And my son actually decided that he wanted to share his rights to this with his sister. So between the two of them, they will be carrying on all of our culture, which generally in the past was not done. But we're aware that women carry a different role and men carry a different role. My son is all about doing the martial arts for the Hawaiian people, and she's all about the hula and the cultural part. So together, when we bring it all together, it works. And my son asked me the question, he said, how come you were required, me personally, to learn all of this and not just one segment? And I said, because your great grandmother knew that I was going to be living elsewhere and not in Hawaii, and she wanted to make sure that I brought with me the culture.
In the olden days, we had a phrase, mana'o e mana'o, from my thoughts to yours. They didn't write anything down. And so anything that was shared all came from what I am vocally sharing with you. And so we try and teach that and instill that within our children and, someday my grandchildren, so that our legacy and our culture isn't lost.
The most important thing that they did was they welcomed us into the community. They welcomed us into their home. They wanted us to continue that experience they had in Hawaii here. And that is why we do what we do, so that the people that actually have been to Hawaii, have lived there, that have moved back to Utah, will be able to embrace that which they experienced while they were there, because they like the ability that they have to bond again.
I think one of the most important parts of the Living Traditions is the bond and the friendship that's been made, whether it's with other crafters or artisans or people that perform, down to the people that come every year that make sure they find our booth with our makahiki games.
Without the community, we cannot continue to do something as powerful as this is. The first year we had, 500 or 600 people? And now we have thousands of people coming. you know. And I have had people come up to me and say, I remember you from the first one. Well, they're older than I am, and you know, they're walking around with a cane. And I said, when I start using my cane, I'll remember that.